That's right. We are right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Yes, it is time for another Meet Me at the Diner. And today, one of our favorite guests here, Denise Manley, is here with us from United Way. She is the executive director there. And she brought along a guest here today, Tammy Kesey. Is that right?
Kesey.
Kesey. Okay. I didn't ask the last name. I had Tammy right. But she is a certified credit counselor, and we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about, Denise?
We're going to be talking about the VITA program.
VITA program. And what is the VITA program?
That is a Volunteer Income Tax Assistance IRS Certified Tax Preparation Program. That's a mouthful.
Yes, and that started last year. Was it last year, the first
this
year?
This is our fourth year.
Fourth year,
This
okay.
is our fourth year, but
it's gotten bigger and bigger.
Amazingly bigger and bigger.
That's right. So, well, we know Denise. We know she's from '96. She was written up in the paper as one of the crown jewels from '96 over there.
That's my shining moment.
Your shining moment. And, of course, you used to work at the Y, and then you moved on to United Way, and you've done amazing things there. I think you just told me this morning that you met your goal for this year's campaign.
We did, $1.25 million. We met it, and we project we may go over just a little bit. We have to call the campaign on March 1. That's when we have to do our national reporting. But we know we've met the goal, and I think we may go over just a little bit. So.
Is that amazing in this economy to be able to do that?
It's amazing. It is amazing. Last year our goal was 1.2, and we fell short of that, just a couple $100,000. And our campaign chairs, Senator Floyd Nicholson and Ron Melinder, this year they set it at 1.25. I thought that was a little aggressive, seeing as we didn't quite meet the 1.2, but they assured me if we did not meet the goal that one of them would write a check to meet the goal. So you can imagine that they...
That was a little pressure there.
You can imagine they wiped their brow when we reported to them that we did meet the goal, and they would not have to fork over a check.
Well, you know, it does go to the sense of the community, but it also goes to those that are on top of the campaign. You know, Floyd has been a tireless worker in our community, now as a state senator. And so that's terrific that you had two great campaign chairs this year.
Two very strong advocates for United Way who have been donors for many, many years, who have supported our efforts, and it was just a good fit for them to come on and chair the campaign together.
That takes a lot of work, too.
We like for our campaign chairs to be very active, and
right.
I have to say that this year we had two very active ones.
Sure.
But they were very willing to give of their time.
Absolutely. Well, that's terrific. $1.25 million has been met, and maybe a little bit more before it's all over with on March 1st.
That's right.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Tammy, where are you from?
I am from Ware Shells.
Big town of Ware Shells.
Big town of Ware Shells.
And we just heard something about you that, you know, was not in your bio here. What do you do now, Tammy?
Well, my husband has a bluegrass group, and it's called the Sunday Night Special. So we'll be rehearsing, and I'm singing bluegrass on Thursday nights every week.
Well, that's great. Where do you sing it?
Well, we are singing at different churches, different events that are held in the communities and locally from here to Columbia.
From here to Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. How did you get into bluegrass?
My husband picks and grins. He has a mandolin. He has guitar. He has banjo. So it's part of my husband's heritage and something we're proud to carry on.
Absolutely. Well, bluegrass is great. That's excellent. So I had no idea that I had a famous bluegrass singer right here with us here today. But what else do you do, Tammy?
Well, I work as a certified, accredited, and licensed consumer credit counselor. And what we do as credit counselors is help people learn to budget, effectively manage their money. We help people restore their credit who have made some decisions in the past that haven't promoted healthy financial choices. And we also teach financial literacy classes.
Well, you know, you talk about financial help in getting your credit restored and this type of thing, there are so many places that you see advertised on TV and the radio and everything. What sets apart what you do from other agencies? They always tell you to be very careful when you're doing something like this.
And you should be. Be very careful when you get ready to share your personal and private information. We are a certified United Way agency. Credibility is the second largest credit counseling service in the country. We are located, our main headquarters is in Atlanta, Georgia. We were Compass of Carolina for maybe 15 years until Credibility took us over with the economy. Our United Way and our nonprofit service was also facing some challenges. Credibility has been in business since 1964. Everything we do is confidential. We are licensed through the South Carolina Department of Consumer Affairs, and we're one of the few credit counseling services where a person can come in for a face-to-face appointment.
Now, where are you located?
I am located in the Turner House at 123 Bailey Circle. It is directly behind the First Presbyterian Church off West Cambridge.
Sure, that used to be where the soup kitchen was, right?
Yes.
Before they moved to United Way's building there.
Hopefully, we're going to be moving to the UC3 building with United Way as well.
Wow, okay. Well, that is great. Now, one of the things that, of course, that you are working with is VITA?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to be providing financial literacy workshops for free for those who come for VITA to have their taxes filled out.
You know, we used not to have to concentrate so much on our financial health, did we? I mean, you know, if we needed money, we just went out and borrowed more, right?
That's exactly right. And that's what's got a lot of people in trouble.
Exactly.
I was a loan officer for years, and we would actually allow people to borrow money based upon their overtime income.
Yes.
Times have changed.
Yes, times have changed, and it's actually it's been a hard lesson for a lot of people to learn. It's been hard for everybody to learn to budget the way we probably should have been all along, but because things were fast and free and loose here, that people were able to do this. So what are you seeing now, Tammy?
We have seen an increase in our senior clients, people who have retired. So many companies have downsized, and our seniors are coming in, and they were not prepared financially as they had expected to be because the market had declined over the past few years.
Sure.
And so we're seeing so many seniors come in, as well as other different age groups, but we're having to minimize back down and define our needs versus our wants.
I like the wants, personally. In the jewelry business, we have been pulled way back because wants and needs just don't always match up.
Jewelry is not a need?
I think it is.
I think so, too.
You know, yesterday on the show, or day before, we posted on Facebook that wrinkles can be helped by a piece of jewelry.
I would fully agree with that.
I figured you would.
I like the theory.
But our needs and our wants. Yes, Tammy, what were you going to tell us about those?
Well, I wonder how many of the listening audience remembers back when there were 3 channels on television.
Were there?
4, 7, and 13.
That was before my time.
That was before cable.
Right.
That was before we had the Internet, before we had the cell phones, when you really did have to get up to turn the channel.
Right. Yeah, didn't even have a remote control. Yeah.
So part of what we're just talking about, it's not that we don't want people to spend money, we just want them to make wise consumer choices when they do spend their money and to prepare a priority spending plan so that their basic expenses are covered first.
Sure. Well, those are the things we're going to be talking about today. We got some other good things. We got some things that are happening up there at the United Center. We're going to be talking about all these things right here today on Meet Me at the Diner. So I want you to stay tuned while we hear a word from our sponsors. When we come back, hey, if you've got a question, give us a call, 229-7984. That's 229-7984. We'll be right back.
Right. We're back here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Hey, if you were listening this morning on the I Love Ann show when I told you that gold was down, I think it was at 1708. It's come back up, folks, right now trading at $1,724. So if you thought you'd have to hold on to that gold, you don't. Come see us today right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Silver is back up to $33.39, down only 11 cents. So come see us if you've got gold, diamonds, silver. You know we pay the most right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Come see us today. Well, we are right here. We have Denise Manley and Tammy.
Cassie.
Cassie, okay, I need to have phonetic spelling here. Cassie, right here with us today, and she is with the. Oh, there you go. Now I've got it. Okay, KC. Okay. All right, we are here at Sharp Facets Gallery, and they are talking about VITA, a program to help you with your taxes. And I tell you what, it's free, absolutely free, as long as you make less than $50,000. Actually, up that $1,000 over last year. Now, Denise, tell us a little bit about the figures of last year and where you're at this year. And I find it fascinating that you could get an IRS grant. When does the IRS give out money here? Hello.
They give out money. It's a little challenging. It's a competitive process, but we were awarded an IRS grant this year for our VITA program based on the success of our program last year. Last year we prepared, so this was during the 2011 tax season for 2010 returns. We prepared 525 e-file, that's federal and state, and then we also prepared about 30 paper returns for folks filing from previous years. That equated to $398,000 being brought back into our community from those refunds, where folks did not have to go and pay to have their taxes filled out. They actually would keep their full refund because it's their money, they should keep it. That would average out to be about $3,500 per tax return.
That's pretty darn good.
That is very good. But I think it's important to note that, our program is about providing free tax preparation services through an IRS certified program, but it's also about educating those folks who are having their taxes filled out to take that refund and to do something to improve their quality of life. Pay off some credit card debt, start a savings account, start an educational fund for your children. Don't just go out and buy a big flat screen TV just because you want one. Want versus need. But do something.
Denise, that's home entertainment. I mean, we won't be going out, so we'll be staying at home more. Can't we qualify this over here, Tammy?
Only if you do stay home. If you're still going out to eat and still sinking those other
Make wise choices. Make wise choices. So it is part of our income impact area.
Now, we need to note that from the year before, though, you had such a tremendous increase. You didn't get, well, not this last year, you did not get the grant. And what, you had prepared 35?
We had prepared 35 tax returns. We sort of started our VITA program a little late, so we were scrambling around and did not prepare as many and were not near as organized. And we applied for an IRS grant to help us get on track. Their feedback to us was they saw no growth in the program. They did not see how the program would succeed. Therefore, the grant was denied. My staff person who oversees the program, Wendy Andrews, and myself, we took that on as a challenge. It ruffled our feathers, and we said we'll show the IRS. And that turned into 525 tax returns, bringing in $398,000. So we applied for the grant again this year, and we got it.
So there you go. Now the challenge will be to keep upping those numbers, right?
Well, the only our goal that we put on the grant was 575.
Okay.
So we only increased it by just 50. We are well on our way about to surpass that number. So we are very confident that our outcomes will be very successful.
Now you've already done what? Did you tell me 395?
We have been preparing taxes for 1 month, and we have already prepared 395. So we have
It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. We have 2 more months to go. The IRS has extended the tax day from April 15th to April 17th this
Correct.
year. So we have a couple more days that we can work on those tax returns.
Well, that is terrific. Now, so you'll see. Do you have any idea how much dollars you think would be brought in then? If you, what did you have any projected increase on the dollars that should be coming back in?
Well, we would project that bringing in almost $400,000 back into the community last year, that we would certainly surpass that. It would be nice to get up close to $500,000. At this time, the IRS has not provided us with any numbers. I think we're well on our way. We can come back and share that with you after tax season.
Well, that is terrific. Now that goes to help the community in a big way.
It does go. It brings back. I mean, that's money back into the community where folks are going to come in and invest, and they're going to do something financial literacy for themselves or their families, or they're going to go out and spend. And
Well, a lot of people put off buying things, don't they, Tammy, till they know they've got that tax refund, and then whether it's tires for the car or
Exactly.
things like that. So that is a big boost to our community.
Things that many of us take for granted. Often it's just genuine maintenance items, like you said, tires for the car, getting oil changes, getting new windshield wiper blades. Sometimes it's even buying more reliable transportation. So we're wanting people to actually use the money that they get to increase their assets, to increase their stability, rather than just putting money aside and spending it for random
Wait a
items.
minute. I think, technically, I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think everybody needs to have a little fun money
Yes.
because otherwise you feel totally deprived.
Right.
I think when you've worked hard and you have all this money coming back, you ought to take X amount of dollars and say, hey, it's okay to blow it just because I need to be able to buy something for myself. And I think women are probably some of the worst people for saying it's okay. I don't need this. We'll get for the kids. We'll get for this. We'll get the house gift. I think every once in a while women need to go out and say, I just need something for me.
I totally agree, and I want you to even take it to the next step. As you're creating your monthly budget, it's not just taking into account how much money's coming in the household, but also your lifestyle and your personality. So what I would suggest that people do is to build in some fun money into their budget each month. And go ahead. We don't mind people spending money. We just want people to plan ahead before they spend it.
Sure.
And so planning how they're going to, because oftentimes we'll see if it's not planned, then the splurge gets a lot bigger than was anticipated.
Sure.
And once that dollar is spent, it can't be used again.
Sure.
But we do think that families and women, especially women, we do have that ability where we think we have to take care of everything.
Right.
And we do need to take care of ourselves. We have to be good for ourselves before we can be good for our children, our husbands, our employers.
Yeah, because after a while you just say, why am I doing this? That's right, because, I think everybody works hard. I'm not saying that, but I think women have traditionally said, it's okay. We'll spend it on this, we'll spend it on that. And a little something always makes you feel good. Just like if Jim's listening here today, Denise did find a few things in the jewelry store that would make her feel extra special.
Of course. I'm looking at one that you have on right now, and that I would very much like to walk out the door with.
All right. Well, we are here at Sharp Facets. We're talking about financial planning. We're talking about VITA. We're talking about United Way, all the good things that it does. Denise, how many partners do you actually have with United Way? I know you have quite a group.
We do. This is all volunteer-led, volunteer-run. We have actually 14 active tax preparers that are all volunteers. I have to give a shout-out to Lander University. We partnered with them last year in their graphics arts department, and they did all of our marketing and our public relations material. From that grew to their business department, where we actually have 7 Lander students. 4 of them are completing internships and receiving credit toward their degree, and then 3 of them are business students who just want to volunteer with their program so they can add it to their resume.
Sure.
And it goes beyond that.
Sure.
It goes beyond that. But our partners being Credibility, the United Center agencies, our partner agencies are promoting it and sending their clients, their consumers, the community, the roving sites that we have at all the places that we actually go on site and take the VITA program and prepare the taxes for the employees. We have 8 roving sites that we go on outside of our fixed site at the United Center that we do each and every week, 3 days a week.
Now, what are the times that you're actually doing them, Denise?
Well, I will say that it started out on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 6:30 and Wednesdays from 10 to 1. That hasn't happened since week 1. We're pretty much doing them around the clock now.
Okay. Well, I've been talking about it on the radio, telling everybody they should go there. We need to know. So you've kind of expanded the hours. Is that what you're saying?
We have. We do encourage an appointment. Please call the United Way office 229-4103. That will cut down on your wait time, and you make that appointment, and then you can come in and be served a little bit quicker. We do take walk-ins, but the wait will be longer.
Absolutely. Well, we are right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. We are talking about the VITA program. We're talking about credit counseling. We're talking about all the good things you can do to save yourself, folks. So don't you go away. You stay right with us. We're going to hear South Carolina news, a word from our sponsors, and we'll be. That's right. We are back here at Sharp Facets Gallery. We are talking about taxes and an inevitability of life. A lot of people are going to be getting some big chunks of change. Now, Tammy, I want to ask you something. $3,500, what Denise said last year was the average refund. Is it better for people to get that big of a refund, or should they try to minimize their deductions so that they don't have to pay as much taxes and get their money first during the year, or is it better to have it set aside as sort of a savings plan? Should you let the government have your money for a year?
That's a good question, Ann. And oftentimes when clients come in, it's based upon what their financial situation is at the time and how it may have changed. We see a lot of people dealing with medical issues. They may have a disability. There may have been a death of a spouse, or there may have been a divorce. So due to changing financial situations, we do encourage clients on occasion to go ahead and get that advanced earned income tax credit. That way they're able to get the income tax credit given to them in a small portion each pay period, rather than waiting for a large IRS return.
Sure. And I think if you have the ability to force yourself to save, that you would be better off to be getting that interest on that rather than letting the government keep it for a year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we tell people that the W-4 form that you filled out at work that impacts how many dependents and the money they're taking, we will tell people to go ahead and ask the HR division how much taxes will be withheld. And that way they know if they've had a large return in the past, that they have some play money. Now this, of course, you do want your tax consultant to give you that information specifically. I'm not a tax person, I'm not an attorney, but you can ask for your HR person to give you that additional information so that you can make an informed choice.
Sure. But, because I think sometimes these huge refunds, some people are getting these huge refunds.
We have seen $8,000 and $10,000 refunds. It's amazing. It is amazing.
And yet I would think that there would be a way to not actually get that much just by having the right type of deductions on I know people that claim, 0, so that they get a bigger tax return.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then they have 5 kids or something, so they're getting this huge refund. But it's great that you all are doing this, and it's free. If you make less than $50,000, you can get this done free. Now, Denise, you also are doing one-day tax events at different areas. You're going everywhere, from the Abbeville Area Medical Center to Greenwood Metro's Center Street Cafe over there in Abbeville, Self-Regional Healthcare. You've got a whole schedule, don't you?
Yeah, and some of these, we call those roving sites, where we go on the road, and some of these locations are just for the employees of that business and their spouses, such as at the Abbeville Hospital, at the Self-Regional Hospital, and then some of them are open to the public. We were at Piedmont Tech recently, and that was open to their students and their faculty and staff, but they also publicize and open it up to the community where folks could come in and have their taxes prepared. It's been nice to be able to go on location. The IRS grant, which you didn't know existed,
right, that the IRS would give money out.
Right.
Actually, it's good business for them because that means they'll get more tax revenue.
Exactly.
So I see how this works.
Exactly. But that allowed us to expand our roving sites this year as opposed to last year. We didn't rove quite as much. We do those on Mondays and Fridays with our fixed site at the United Center on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Now, what about as far as how many people are actually helping prepare, and did they have to have some training?
There are 14 volunteers that are actually tax preparers, and then we have other volunteers who are greeters, who they do intake, which fills out the forms prior to them going and sitting down with the tax preparer. They go through an IRS certified, the tax certification program. It's all online. We had someone from Elliott Davis. I happen to know someone over there. They came in. They came and did a seminar. He was listening. They came in and did tax law training, tax law training to our volunteers, and they all must take a test and pass the test online, and they can certify at different levels: basic, and then intermediate, and then advanced. And our site coordinators, which we have the greeters, the intake workers, the tax preparers, and the site coordinator. All those are on staff at each VITA time, and all those are certified at different levels. So they've taken that test and they passed.
Now, as someone that is preparing taxes for these people, any issues, if there's an issue with their tax return or something, are they standing by there to be with them like some of the other tax preparers and things? Or are they taken care of?
They're taken care of. We have a tax preparer and then we have a quality review. So there's always two people for each tax preparation. One prepares the taxes, the other does a quality review. And we are always subject to a surprise visit by an IRS representative to show up at any time, and we have to make sure that we have all those pieces in place for the different levels of our volunteers. So they're taken care of.
They're very well taken care of. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Now, Tammy, you were telling us you're going to be doing some credit counseling. What are we going to be doing here at the end after everybody has gotten their taxes done?
We're going to be holding some financial literacy workshops. And as Denise had mentioned before, we are wanting people to plan ahead and maybe have some insurance, go ahead and invest their money wisely in some things that they may need. Sometimes it's even just a large purchase. You may need a new washing machine and dryer.
Right.
And so using this tax money wisely to invest in items that are going to be assets that you can continue to use for years. And so as we're going to be working, we're going to help people develop a priority spending plan. We're going to help people access their credit report for free through annualcreditreport.com. And we're going to get people to go ahead and try to establish that budget so that they can plan their spending rather than just finding themselves, have you ever gotten paid and didn't know where your money went on Monday morning and you're broke again? That's what we see often.
I just like to get paid.
We all do.
Yes.
That's right. But well, that's good. And I'm sure you can show them how to save money over financing things and just paying for them.
We actually have a lot of people who, as you mentioned beforehand, they will wait and get that large tax refund, and then in between they're using some of the different loans that are available, and they may be paying 100, 200, 300% interest. I saw a document this week where a client had borrowed $1,100 and is paying back over $3,000 in interest. So to use that $1,100, they're going to be paying over $4,000 for that, where if they would be budgeting effectively and go ahead and get that income tax money in their paycheck each pay period, then they're going to be saving themselves a lot of money over time.
Sure. So, you got to be careful. And a lot of people don't know how to read the fine print.
Exactly.
And they're not very good, those places that you're talking about aren't very good at telling you how much it's actually going to cost you.
Exactly. Most people are buying a payment.
Right.
If it's only going to cost me $50, I don't consider the fact that that's going to take me 7 years to pay that to pay that back.
Sure, exactly. And I think there was a time where we didn't worry about that, but now we have to. So these are the things that you can learn about. And of course, if you have combined taxes $50,000 or less, you qualify for this program.
You do. And we do individual or joint returns so that the income level is $50,000 and below.
Absolutely. Well, we are here at Sharp Facets Gallery. We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, I think we ought to talk about some of the other things that United Way does and how they help the community. So don't you go away. You stay right here with us. We'll be right back here at Sharp Facets Gallery coming up on that 1 o'clock hour, but we've got a little bit of time left. Tammy, you were telling me that you're going to have a shred event. Shred it.
Yes, and we have a shred event. We partner with quite a few different agencies in town. I wonder how many of you are like me out there and you do have your taxes back from the very first year you ever filed. For me, it was 1987. And you don't need to keep that information over all these years. It's actually a source of potential identity theft. So we're holding a shred event for those of you who have documents that you do need to shred securely. We'll be at the Lowe's parking lot on April the 14th. That's going to be a Saturday just before the taxes are due. And it is free to anyone in the community. So we do hope you come out and join us.
Well, now, how many years of taxes do you need to keep?
People usually keep about 10 years of taxes. I personally think if they hadn't audited me by then. But I just think of so many of us who still have every car loan document, that we have ever had, or many of us still have checks from years past.
Right.
And identity theft is the #1 crime on the rise through the FBI. So bring those things out so you'll be a little more secure.
Absolutely. Well, that'll be coming up on April 14th. That is a Saturday, so box it up, take it there, no charge.
No charge, absolutely free.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds great. And, of course, we do want to talk about, since we actually have the executive director here of United Way with us, Denise Manley, what can you tell us about what's going on at United Way other than VITA? You've got other things going on.
We do. We are heavy in VITA mode right now, but we do have other things going on. We have started a new women's initiative. It's a new women's leadership initiative. Our official name is
As of today.
As of today. We had a meeting this morning and with our core group of women that are forming this affinity group, and our official name is WIN, W-I-N, and that stands for Women of Impact Now. We've had a lot of planning sessions. We've had one community meeting. Tammy was she was present at that meeting, and we have more planned. And the issue that has been identified by this women's group is prevention of teenage pregnancy. United Way of Anderson County has a very successful program that they launched about 8 years ago in preventing teenage pregnancy, and we're patterning our efforts after them. We've identified the program. Now we've got to move forward with some action steps, but if there are any women out there who have a philanthropic bone in their body, or they have they're a go-getter and want to help us plan and organize this women's group, it's just women wanting to come together to identify an issue that's pertinent to women and children, that we can create some positive change in our community. And that issue is prevention of teenage pregnancy, and we invite them to come and join us.
Absolutely. Now, Denise, if someone is interested, I guess they should give you a call.
They need to call me.
Yes.
That would be great. 229-4103. That's at the United Way office, and I will let them know. We'll put them on our email database where they'll receive some updates, and then let them know of some community meetings that we're going to have as we launch this new initiative.
I think that's great. I think teenage pregnancy it's something that needs to be addressed in a big way, and if we could get parents together on these issues, and that would be terrific.
Well, it impacts so many different areas of your life. When a girl becomes pregnant in her teenage years, there's a higher chance of dropout, not finishing her education. That's going to affect her education. It's going to affect her ability to provide for her family, her income coming into her house. The statistics on single parenting, it just funnels on down to the children and them growing up in a poverty or low income home, high risk for risky behavior. A lot of different areas are affected from that one teenage pregnancy. So we're hoping that with this new program we've identified that we hope to launch once we receive the funding.
Right, exactly.
Funding is always key. That we'll be able to affect that percentage and make it go down.
Absolutely, that would be terrific, because the other thing is we have so many people who do end up pregnant, who end up on the welfare rolls and everything, and as we look at how our government is doing, they may not have the money to be able to put that out there, so we need people to be able to stand up and be independent.
And one of the areas that this core group of women that are starting this initiative, one of the women in the group has taken on the challenge to identify how much it costs a taxpayer. She's a very numbers-oriented individual, and so she is calculating how much it costs the taxpayer from one teenage pregnancy. So we're trying, and then we have the others on the other end that are how it affects that, that female, how it affects that child. So we're looking at
the total
package and how we can say we can just start with one.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's terrific. Other things going on. You've got a volunteer program that you're working with.
Right. There is a volunteer program. We have a lot of folks in the community that want to volunteer. We get a lot of calls at United Way going, where can I volunteer? We try to find out what their interests are and what their needs are, what their abilities are, and then partner them with one of our partner agencies. But we see a need to be a little more organized, a little more proactive in creating volunteerism in our community. So there's a program, an online program called Get Connected. Just spoke with the company that developed that online program, partnered with a lot of United Ways across our state, and hopefully we're going to launch that in the next few months. once I get the funding
Yeah.
to get the program. It's all about funding. But it is a huge volunteer initiative that we see a need for, and that hopefully we'll have it implemented in the next several months.
Well, I think what is the theme of Live United?
Give, volunteer, advocate.
That's right, exactly. So there is a lot that can be done on that, and you're right, we do have a lot of people that do like to volunteer and get involved. I think I saw a program this morning on TV that I thought was totally amazing. They were doing cupcakes for groups that volunteered, and it was just a thank you for volunteering and doing something, and that is such a small thing that becomes such a big thing, and they've got kids involved in it, adults involved in it, a whole group, and I thought, wow, that is so easy, but so appreciated.
Very much appreciated. It's that little act of kindness that goes a long way.
Absolutely. And of course, I think getting young people involved in being involved in volunteering is a big part of what we're trying to do today, too.
I attended a community impact seminar back in the fall, and the largest growth for volunteerism, the largest age group is 18 to 25. And that age group, they want to see progress. They want to see their work being done, and then they are likely to then turn that into a donation. They want to do the work first. They want to volunteer, get their hands dirty, get into it, and then when they are bought in to that cause or whatever they're doing, then that will turn into, okay, well, now I'm going to give my $1. 18 to 25-year-olds, I have a 22-year-old, they don't have money.
Right.
They have some time.
Yes.
And so that's the target. They were saying, so target that area to get your volunteers, and then in the end, when they become more career-minded, hopefully, hopefully my 22-year-old will become career-minded when she graduates from college in May, that will turn into a monetary gift.
So
I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting, and that just shows the circle of life here, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does. So, Tammy, how have you found working with United Way and partnering up here, and what do you see out there as far as getting people on the right step?
Well, United Way actually, along with Greenwood Literacy Council, founded our organization about 17 years ago, and they have partnered with us and supported us as we're trying to outreach to the community to teach them to make wise financial choices. And we are continuing to partner with United Way. We're thrilled to be able to do these workshops to kind of help allow people to make some positive choices and positively impact their lives and their quality of life. And we're just thrilled to get to be a part of this.
And you told me your office is over in the Turner House, right over there on Bailey Circle. Is that right?
123 Bailey Circle. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And if people are interested and need some help, what should they do?
Well, people can definitely call me. My local number is 223-8694. Or you can call our contact center, 800-251-2227. We're available 24 hours a day through the computer. We do counseling through chat. We have courses on demand through iPod. If you have some questions and you're not really sure where to get the information, call me and we can get you guided into that right direction.
And I think the good thing about it is it's a human being at the other end of the line.
Yes.
It's somebody that you can actually meet and talk with. So you don't have a problem with somebody coming in and saying this is the issue and what I'm dealing with.
Right, and they vary.
Sure, absolutely. But go see Tammy. She is certified credit counselor with credibility. They've been around for a long, long time. So keep up the good work, and I bet you're really busy.
Yeah. In a lot of different areas, yes, we are, with the workshops and with people coming in and with phone sessions, and we want to be as convenient as we can for you to be able to get that information.
Absolutely. So if you have taxes and your combined income or individual income is less than $50,000, then you can give them a call over there at VITA. It doesn't have to cost you a thing. You don't have to worry, are you doing it right or are you doing it wrong? Denise, give them that telephone number to call for an appointment.
229-4103, and I strongly advise you to make an appointment.
Yes.
That's right. And you did have specific hours, but now you told me it's kind of expanded all week long. Is that right?
It is turned in that way. So just call. We will get you in there.
Absolutely. 229-4103. Give them a call. Why pay somebody else to do it when you can get it done for free? Why do it yourself when you can get somebody else to do it for you? Can look it over. You have 2 levels of people that have to look it over before you send it off, correct?
That's correct. It is a qualified tax preparation.
That's right, and it was all done through the IRS training, so you don't have to wonder, am I really getting top-notch? You are getting top-notch, and we happen to have it on good authority. But there's even a person from Elliott Davis who helped out with making sure that things were right.
I have connections.
All right. Well, we are right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. Tammy, thanks so much for coming in to see us here today.
Thank you, Ann. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And keep up the bluegrass singing there. We'll have to hear you someday. Make sure we find out more about what you're doing over there. And Denise, as always, it is a pleasure to have you right here with us on WLMA.
Thank you for having me. This feels like home.
It does, doesn't it? It's a nice, comfy place. Hey, this is WLMA right here live in Greenwood. Bye-bye, everybody.